Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Allie G show for track 36. We are almost at 40 tracks. I actually cannot believe that. This is the third track that's a part of the Road to the Five Boroughs series leading up to the 2025 TCS New York City Marathon. You can hear the excitement in my voice. I love a behind the scenes look at the marathon, and today I'm chatting with Kelly Ransier, who's a triathlete, soon to be marathoner, and New York City Marathon volunteer this year. I had so much fun chatting with Kelly and hearing about her marathon plans and her volunteer plans, and we actually learned that we're running the same marathon next weekend, which is super cool. I cannot wait for you all to hear her story. It's getting so unserious. All right. What is up, everyone? I am sitting here today with Kelly Ransier. We're doing another track of the Road to the Five Boroughs surrounding the New York City Marathon leading up to it. But today I wanted to have Kelly on to talk about all of her running experience and triathlon experience. And then we're going to get to the fun parts of her involvement in the New York City Marathon this year. So Kelly, welcome to the pod. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. I'm really honored to be here, honestly.
I'm
Thank you.
so excited for you to be here. Why don't we kick it off with you telling the listeners a little bit about who you are and where you're from and what you do?
Okay, so I am first a mom and a wife. I have two kids, and they are my world. And I love to run. And I just recently, a couple years ago, got involved in triathlon. And I'm just hoping that I can show my kids what it looks like to lead a healthy lifestyle and just encourage them to chase their dreams kind of through what I'm doing. And my husband's pretty involved in running as well. So, yeah, that's, I guess, a little bit about me. For work, I am a teacher, so I teach math to elementary students. Luckily, I have my summers off, so that's nice. I get to spend some extra time with my kids then.
That's so
Um,
nice.
but other than that, it's a pretty busy schedule. Getting in workouts early in the morning before we get everybody off to school, and then after school, it's busy activities with the kids' sports and all that. So yeah, it's just busy
Totally.
mom life, but enjoying the running and the triathlon, and that's like my escape from the busyness of everything.
Hey, I love that. I honestly, you're a rock star. I don't even know how you have kids and train for all of these fun things that you do because I can barely do it and I don't have kids. I just have a dog. Well, I have two dogs and a full-time job. But other than that, I really can't I can't complain. But it's hard. It's tough. So you're a rock star. I mean, and you have like one of the most important jobs. So like outside of that, which is super cool. Um, to kick things off here, just before we get into your running journey, you're here to, like as I said in the intro, you're here as a part of the Road to the Five Boroughs leading up to the New York City Marathon, and you are volunteering this year. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah,
And this is your
first
first
time
time?
volunteering. I have volunteered
Nice.
for a small local race before, and it was a
Mhm.
great experience.
Love
So,
it.
but this is my first time volunteering for the New York City Marathon, and I'm really stoked.
Very cool. No, I'm excited to hear about it now. I'm excited to hear about it after. Um, but yeah, what inspired you to volunteer this year instead of run or not even
Um,
instead of running? Like if you're just
yeah.
that's not in your game and your goals, like what inspired you to say yes to volunteering?
So I have loved New York City for like a really long time. Since I was little, my parents took us to New York to see plays and just be tourists. We're from Maryland, so it's like it's a fun trip. It's close enough that we can
Yeah.
like do it in a weekend or whatever. But so New York has always been one of my favorite places. When I got into running, I really never thought I would run a marathon until a couple years ago, or actually until last year when I did the Ironman 70.3. And I was like, all right, if I can do
It's
this, I could
amazing.
probably run a marathon. So that did, I did start thinking about the marathon at that point, but it was kind of too late to try to get in for this year. So I figured the next the next best thing to running the marathon is to volunteer for it. And it's a really up close look at what it's actually like. And I get to be there to help all the runners and achieve their goal of crossing the finish line. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be right there in the action.
I love it. I love it. Well, we're going to talk so much more about that in a little bit. But to get started here, how did your running journey actually start? And how did it kind of evolve into triathlons and all the fun things you're doing now?
Well, so I played field hockey and lacrosse in high school, and
Hmm.
I was always like super angry when the coach would say, "All right, we're gonna go run 3 miles," and
Hmm.
like that was just not my favorite thing. It was the end of the world. But I think it was just after I graduated college, my uncle was running marathons, and he encouraged my husband and I to go for a 6 mile run with him. And at the time, we didn't know it was going to be 6 miles, but he was like, "Just come with me. Don't bring your watch. Don't bring headphones. Let's just run and like see how far we go."
Hmm.
And we ended up running 6 miles, which I was just so surprised by.
Yeah.
So he was really like the inspiration that started everything. After that, I was like, all right, well, maybe I can do a 10K. Um,
Hmm.
and then I did that, and that just progressed to half marathons. And for a while, my husband and I ran a bunch of half marathons together. Um, Not together, like he was ahead of
Yeah.
me, but we signed up together, and we did some training together. Um, and then came my kids and all that. That just kind of removed me from the running scene for a few years. Um, but once I was done with having little children, my kids are 7 and 9 now, so they can kind of like
Yeah.
self-sustain themselves while I am
Yeah.
doing my workouts. um, I decided to kind of to try to get back into running, and then during COVID, like everybody else, I bought a Peloton bike, and
Yep.
I got really into Peloton and biking. So I figured, if I can bike, which I started to really enjoy. I mean, I only biked inside, but
Same.
I did really enjoy that. If I can bike and run, then all I need to do is learn how to swim. And then I can do a triathlon. And my aunt, she was doing an all women's triathlon in a few months. So I asked her about her experience and if she thought that was something I could achieve. And she was like, oh, yeah, no problem. Like she knew my experience with endurance events like half marathons.
Hmm.
So so she kind of inspired me to give a sprint triathlon a shot. And I didn't know how to swim freestyle. Like I used to, I mean, I knew how to like not drown in a pool, but
Yeah.
until 2 years ago, I really was not like a swimmer at all. So I just
Wow.
kind of taught myself how to do that. And then, of course, the sprint triathlons progressed into Olympic distance,
That's so insane.
and
And I
then
mean, insanely cool.
70.3. Yeah, so
Wow. I know you've achieved so much. And I know it's like all part of the journey, but I feel like once you get the bug, you just got to keep going. You know what I mean?
mhm.
And it sounds like you kind of got the bug. It happened to me too, except I haven't gotten the triathlon bug. We'll see. You might
You will one
inspire me.
day.
I
Yeah, you
might
will
sign
one
up
day.
after this. That tends to
They're
happen on the
so
pod.
much fun. So much fun.
Yeah, but I'm like you. I'm not I mean I could swim. I just am not like a swimmer.
Yeah, I get that.
So,
That's me too. That's
so
still
I'm a little
like
scared.
definitely my weakest discipline. But
Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah.
After that's the shortest amount of time spent during the triathlon too. So once you're done with the swim, you get to bike and run for like the next several hours.
Okay, that's true. You might be selling me slowly. No, but backtracking here a bit, what was it that kept you like signing up for half marathons? And what was your first one? Like, do you remember your first one ever?
Yeah, my first one was the Baltimore Running Festival. It was in 2013. It
Nice.
was just after we got married, and I was like kind of on a kick to get back in shape and everything. Um, and that was the first one. Then we did a bunch of, I I think we did like the Frederick Running Festival, which is also
Mhm.
in Maryland. And we just kind of repeated a bunch over and over for the years. I was too nervous to do a marathon. It just
Yeah.
seemed like totally out of my comfort zone. We did do a Disney half marathon. That was really fun.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, but this was all back in the time also when I was terrible at fueling and nutrition and all of that. And I I feel like if that were if I was more educated on that 10 plus years ago, I could have done a much better job with like, finishing the race not feeling like I wanted to faint or
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
maybe I would have then felt okay and I would have been like, maybe I could do a marathon.
Yeah. You know what? I feel that. That like hits me to the core because I was just recently like as silly as like I was going through my closet and I was like getting rid of old running stuff and my parents just moved so I was like, "Oh, I won't get rid of it. Like I'll just bring some of it there." And then I was visiting my parents and I wore something that I had brought there like a piece of running gear and I was like, "Oh my god, like I don't even know how I ran in this." And then I was
Hmm.
just thinking back to like but the first half marathon days or like not even half marathon like my first 10K 5K how much I did not know about defueling and any sort
Yeah.
of like any aspect of that part of all of it um and it's just so funny that you brought that up because it's so true like I feel like way back then you felt like you knew everything and then you're like wait and now you're here and you're doing all of
Yeah.
these awesome races and all of, like you're competing at such a high level so it just becomes such an important part of what we do now which is
Yeah, I
crazy.
think like luckily there's so much more awareness around nutrition and fueling these days.
Hmm.
I think everybody's like us in the same boat. Like I don't
Yeah.
remember hearing about gels very much at
Hmm.
all like
Hmm.
10 years ago.
Same.
Um, but
Same.
now it's all over the place. Like
Yeah. Now I'm like, which new one should I try? Well, and
exactly.
then
Yeah.
you start looking and you're like, wait, they all have the same amount of carbs, and I'm just
Yeah.
like picking and choosing based on like texture and flavor, and it's there's too many. There's too many. I was doing it today. It took me way out of took too much time.
And then all of a
Um,
sudden you have like hundreds of dollars in your cart on the feed and it's like,
yeah.
what happened?
Yeah, and then I don't click order until like 2 a.m. when I can't sleep, and then it just shows up and I'm like, "Oh, that's right. I did order that."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. That was me. That was literally me on the feed today, and I did not click order yet, so I'm sure that'll happen later.
Yeah,
But
don't forget.
no, I won't. I won't forget. I have another race in like a week and a half. I can't forget. I'm gonna be in trouble. I'm gonna be shit out of luck. Um, but but yeah, so you had mentioned you learned so much about like fueling and all of that over time. Like was there anything else that you learned whether it was from like half marathon training, triathlon training, whatever that you're going to bring into like future races or future training blocks?
I think it's just like one of the things I've learned is it's really about perspective and
Mhm.
um, you know, at first I think like the whole time thing of how many hours you're going to be out there like doing an endurance event can be really overwhelming. But if
Mhm.
I've learned that like if I just take it step by step and really break it down and have a well thought out training plan. Luckily I have an awesome coach who's been really strategically planning my workouts for me and that has grown my confidence a lot.
Mhm.
Then your perspective just shifts and um now that I completed the 70.3 and it took me like a little bit over 6 hours or whatever, I feel like okay, so ideally a marathon is going to take me less than that. I can
Yeah.
definitely do this, like
Yeah.
it's just it really helps with the confidence.
Mhm.
And I think just increasing that time in small amounts really helps.
Yeah, for sure. So you're doing I feel like I'm spoiling it by saying this, but you're virtually not only are you volunteering for the New York City Marathon this year, but you're also virtually running it, right? So that'll
Yes.
be is this like this isn't your first official it is your
this is
first oh my god.
this
Oh
is
my
my
god.
first
Okay.
marathon. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my
Hmm.
god. How
Big deal.
exciting.
Hmm.
Huge deal. Huge deal. that makes total sense as to why you're breaking it down in your head the way that you just explained, because it's like I'm thinking and I'm like, wait, you're literally breaking it down like I break it down in my head, but like, is this your first time running it? That's so cool. Are you
Yeah.
okay, so how did that aspect of it come about? Or you were just like, I'm going to volunteer, but I also want to do it virtually?
So I knew that I felt like I was on a good training streak with completing my 70.3. It was in June,
Hmm.
and I wanted to continue like with the fitness that I had built from that. So I started thinking about a fall marathon. It was too late to get
Hmm.
into the in-person New York City Marathon. I knew I wanted New York to be my first marathon, or at least like try to be.
Yeah.
Um, but that in-person option wasn't available, so I ended up signing up virtually, and I also am running with Team for Kids.
Love it.
So yeah, and that's been a great journey to just raise awareness about Team for Kids and fundraise, and I've gotten a lot of support from friends and family. Um, so I knew that running a virtual marathon would be very difficult, like self-supported and all of
Hmm.
that. So, luckily, the Marine Corps Marathon is happening within the time window that I have to run the virtual NYC Marathon. Um, so I signed up for the Marine Corps in a huge part to your friend Marta, because she kind of convinced my husband and I that it was as she thinks, that
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
best marathon out there, which I've heard from a lot of people that everybody just loves it.
Yeah.
Um, so my husband's doing it too. It's his
Oh
first
my
as well.
God.
Um,
Wait, are we
yeah.
gonna I'm side noting here again. Are we gonna get to meet in person? Because I'm also running Marine Corps Marathon.
No, you're not.
I
Stop.
swear to God, courtesy of Marta.
Oh my God. How did I
That's
not know
so
that?
funny. I it
Okay, well, we'll
literally
definitely have to.
we will. But it literally just happened like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, where
Okay, well, maybe
she's like, sign up right now. I'm sending you a
she
link.
dragged you.
She's like, you're getting a link to your email. Sign up now. You have till
It's
5
hard to
p.m. I'm
say
like,
no to
okay.
her.
I could never. She's, as you know, she's like my
Yeah.
running mom. She's one of the best people I know.
Okay, well, that's
Oh my
awesome.
God, this is so
Okay.
awesome. Okay, now
Yeah.
I'm getting back to you. Sorry. I was like, wait, we're actually going to get to meet in person. We just talked about this in our little pre-show. That's so cool. And I think, um, to your point before, I think it would have been, from my perspective, like if I give you so much credit for signing up for it virtually and having it end up like work out with Marine Corps and having a course is, it just feels like you could like take a deep breath because you don't have to make up a route. You don't
Right.
have to worry about being, to your point, like self-supported. Because
Hmm.
I think as runners, at least for me, a lot of the time when when I was training for my ultra, it was really hard for me. I feel like I got nervous every single time I had a long run on Saturday and Sunday. And it wasn't because I didn't think I couldn't do it. It was more so where I was just like, where am I going to run for 30 miles? Like I was like, I don't, and that just provided so much anxiety for me. So I was like, I need to start doing races, or I need to start like finding marathons or halves at least to kind of supplement, and then I
Yeah.
can like make it up after that. So that's really, really a smart idea to use Marine Corps. Plus it's going to be cool. It's an awesome course.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous about
I mean,
the
I'm
government
nervous too.
shutdown
I
and
am also
everything
nervous.
too, but definitely
I was
trying not to think about that
Yeah,
though.
yeah. Well, if the government is still shut down and it gets canceled, which it's not going to, because we're
It's
manifesting
not
that
going to.
it's gonna stay
Yeah,
on.
everything's good.
Yeah, but I will help you come up with a route around DC if you need help.
Okay,
Because
we'll be in touch.
I've definitely run a marathon around DC, easily, somehow. But no, that's really cool, and it's awesome that you get to do it with your husband. Does that? It's like I feel like that's like a
Yeah.
full
I
circle
mean, we
moment.
won't be running next to each other, but we're
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least see each other at the start and the finish.
No, listen, it's fun to know that you have your people there. Me and my sister are the same way. Like it's she's such a good cheerleader, and like I finally sucked her into the running side, and now when we get to do a race together, I'm like, this is so cool. We just got to start Wine Glass together in upstate New York, and then
That's
we don't
awesome.
run together and we don't finish together, but Actually, this year I did get to finish with her because I finished and I ran back. And I was
Oh,
like, we're
you're so
running
nice.
down the main street. I'm like, we're running down. Like, if there's one marathon we're gonna finish together, it's gonna be this one.
That's cute.
Yeah. So but it's cool to know that you have your people there, even if you're not running side by side.
Definitely.
No, but that's really cool. I'm excited for you. I will be cheering you on at Marine Corps, and I'll be cheering you on virtually
You'll
because
be finished like 3 hours before me. So
yeah,
yeah.
but like it doesn't matter though. It's fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm cheering for everybody regardless. I don't know though, because this is like my second one in 2.5 weeks. So I might be down for the count, but we'll see.
Party
We'll see.
face.
No, literally. My legs are killing me. No, but all right. So virtual NYC marathon, you decided to volunteer. Um, do you get to choose your assignment?
Yeah. So,
Oh, sweet.
I knew pretty early on that I wanted to volunteer. I think I signed up in over the summer, or maybe even before that. I don't remember. But
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to be kind of, you know, towards the end-ish of the um course because I just feel like those are the times when people are struggling, like, a little bit more
Mhm,
than, say, mile 3 or 4.
mhm.
So that would allow me to see, like, a true picture of what it's like,
Yeah,
at that point during the marathon, and, just to really give support to the runners when they really truly need it.
yeah.
So yeah, I got to pick I'm at mile 19,
S
um,
Love it. Are you
and
doing water? Are you doing gels? Are you doing
I
like, do
don't
you know
know
yet?
I don't know exactly. I
Okay.
think they'll probably just let us know on race morning. My shift is from 7 to 1, so
Oh my
it's a lot
god.
of 6 hour. Is that 6 hours? No, 5. Yeah, 6
Yeah,
of
6.
standing.
Oh my god.
So, but it'll be fun, you know? I
No.
mean, I'm excited to just cheer for everybody and give water or whatever it is, and help
Yeah.
in any way that I can. So,
No, for sure. That's gonna be so awesome, and to your point, it's so nice to, like, it's so nice to have people there at mile 19, like, when because people are gonna be like, Gatorade, water, gel, anything that they can get their hands on at that point is gonna be
mhm,
so important
mhm,
no matter what it is. No matter what it
mhm.
is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um, that's gonna be so awesome. And honestly, you might have a pretty easy job for the first few hours because the elites can't take anything from you. So you might just be there
Yeah.
to cheer them on.
Or setting up stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, setting up and all that. Do you know if there's like
Mhm.
an orientation or something, or do you guys just show up?
They said that we don't need to pick anything up ahead of time.
Oh, wow.
So everything will be there when we arrive, I guess at 7. And then I'm sure there will be some sort of Mile 19 volunteer team captain or somebody to direct us in some way, is what I'm imagining.
Yeah.
Um,
No, for sure. That's gonna be so fun. Oh my god, the energy is gonna be insane. Mile
mhm.
19. Mile
Yeah.
19. And I think it's cool that you're gonna be completing your first marathon before you
Oh,
even
I'm so glad.
volunteer. Like,
Honestly,
honestly, I
I'm
Yeah, no, go
I'm
ahead, go
glad
ahead.
that it's not before. I'm
Yeah.
really glad that my marathon is a week before I am witnessing
Other people's
carnage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I would
you
I
know?
would totally I would totally, totally get in my head about that. So I'm
Mhm.
happy that it's beforehand for you.
Yeah.
Um, no, but I think in a way it might inspire you too, you know? I
Oh,
think maybe
totally.
it'll yeah, like
Mhm.
you're gonna yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
What do you is there like something you think that runners on the course might not like realize at that mile marker where you're just like, "Oh, you might need this," like, or you might need that, or like, what do you think they're gonna need most at mile 19?
It's hard for me to
I
know
don't
because
know.
I've never
Yeah.
been there before, you know? Like,
That's
I
that's
feel
true.
like I could better answer this question after I complete my marathon in a week and a half.
I mean, you're gonna
But
have to come back on, that's a given. Maybe me, you, and Marta will do a debrief of Marine
I'm
Corps and your
down.
volunteer experience. That'd be so fun.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
no, that's
Yeah, so
cool.
I don't know. I think just like encouragement and um obviously if they need fuel or water or hydration. But I think I think mile 19 is one of those areas where you're really like starting to hit that wall, the mental block,
Yeah.
and you just
Yeah.
need that, encouragement that, you can do this.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I mean, honestly, I feel like I mean, I've run New York twice now. Twice. Yeah. And I think I always like, I mean, I always appreciate the volunteers, but I think from a volunteer perspective and like, it might be hard in the moment to understand how much you're actually appreciated, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because like
Hmm.
afterwards, when people are like giving you your medals or they're like just the behind the scenes of the New York City Marathon alone is so insane for me to even think about because it takes so many people to put on this event. It takes so many different like so many cooks in the kitchen, but like in a positive way. And then when it's all said and done, you're just like, wow, thanks to that person at mile 13 that handed me this, or thank God for that person
Yeah,
that handed me the gels, or thank God for the person at mile 19 who was cheering for me. Um,
right.
so I think it's such an underrated point of view and position to have, to be honest.
Did you know there's 10,000 volunteers?
No. What?
10,000.
10,000?
Yeah. It's crazy, a crazy number.
That's like a fifth?
Yeah, because there's
Yeah, of the people running.
55,000 runners.
Thank God I did the math right. That would have been so embarrassing. That would have been so embarrassing. Yeah, that's crazy. That's
Yeah. So I
crazy.
don't know. I mean, like you're saying, maybe I'll have a moment, with one or two in particular runners who are really struggling. And
Yeah.
I mean, that would be my hope, right? Like I want to be able to make an impact
Yeah.
um in small ways or big ways. I mean, you never know what's going to happen, but just to be able to like touch the journey of
Yeah.
a runner chasing the finish line.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Are there any moments that you can think of where like maybe not it doesn't even have to be a volunteer, but like anybody on the course of any of the events that you've completed? Like is there a certain scenario that sticks out to you where you're like, "Oh, this made my day," or like this person really helped me?
Um, so this is kind of it's pretty recent, but at the Ironman World Championships, an 80-year-old woman just completed the
Okay.
Ironman World Championships, and she was the oldest woman
Wow.
ever to complete it. And it just so happens to be that her and I were standing next to each other at the swim entrance of my Ironman in
God.
June. So
Wow.
she had a pretty, big impact on me just in our small chat that we had before entering the water. And yeah, I mean, it's interesting how just a small conversation can have such a big impact on you. But yeah, I mean, she just really gave me a lot of hope that this was my first race, but look at her, she's 80 years old and she is still doing this. She started at
Yeah.
60 years old, I think.
Yeah.
So it's just incredible and so inspiring to know that, I mean, if she can do this, I can definitely get through this.
Yeah. Yeah. No, honestly, that's so true. And that's so special. Like I love those moments. I had one, I mean, well, one last year New York City Marathon. I made like a TikTok because this is going to sound so childish because I'm a child. I made a TikTok because I got to start with my best friend and my sister. Like we all got to start um in the same like corral and wave and at the same time, and so they got to
That's
start with
so
me.
cool.
It was really like a truly like a once in a lifetime thing because I think I'm gonna have a hard time convincing them to run with me ever again. I was like, "Get up, we're getting on the bus, we're going to Staten Island. You've never ran a marathon, let's go." Except it was like my sister's third, I think, but it was my best friend's first marathon. Um, and uh we were like taking videos and we were just it was so lighthearted at the start. And then obviously we all had our own race and at the end I videotaped the volunteer who put the medal around my neck and I posted it on my TikTok and it was like this like whatever I like put it to a song and the volunteer found me and she was like,
Oh,
"Hey, I was the one that put the medal on your neck." And I was like, I'm like, girl, you have no idea. I was like holding on for dear life when I finished that race. Like, but it's those little moments that you think of that really get you through.
Yeah.
Um, so I love hearing like everybody's
That's
stories.
so cool that she found
Yeah.
you.
I know it's insane. I don't even know how because I don't know how to make TikToks really. And I just did it. I was like, okay, I'm just
What
gonna
are
do
the
it.
chances? I
I
mean, the chances
know.
are so small.
I know, I know. It's crazy. But you meet so many cool people in this space and
Hmm.
like we were talking about Marta before, she's the same way. Like you just meet people,
Hmm.
wherever in the middle of shakeout runs and things like that. Um but yeah, speaking of shakeout runs, what are your plans for Marine Corps Marathon weekend? Pre first marathon, what are your plans? What are you going to do? A shakeout? Are you going to go to any events?
Not, I don't have anything big planned because
Same.
yeah, it's hard because like this is my hometown-ish.
True.
So
True.
I still have like my kid's soccer game to go to the day before and like I don't just like stuff like that. Like
Super mom. Super
I
mom.
think like next year when I do in person New York City Marathon, it will be like that. It will be, I'm
Yeah.
going to be up there for like 4 or 5 days. I'm going to
Yeah.
do a shakeout run, hopefully go to a live podcast recording or like, stuff like that.
Yes.
Um, but this is not quite the same.
That's true. It is true.
I'm going to
It's
go
like
to the
a
expo and pick up my bib, and that'll be about it.
yeah. And I have to
Try
go
to
at
get to
the
bed early.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I feel that. I feel that. And it'll make New York City next year even more special, because you'll get to
Oh, yeah.
experience all the fun things. But
Hmm.
is there anything that you're most nervous about? Like, what are you most
Um,
nervous about? And what are you most excited for?
So I've been dealing with this injury for the last like 7 weeks or so.
Hmm.
Um, the first 6 or 7 weeks of my marathon training were going well, and then my right quad started giving me pain like throughout my knee, up through my quad to my hip. And during one of my 15-mile runs, it became so bad that I had to like walk, then run, then walk, then run. And it got to a
Hmm.
point where I was only running like a quarter of a mile and it was just so painful. I was just like, it's not worth it anymore. So I had to
Yeah.
stop at 14 miles and cut it short. And the next couple of runs after that weren't any better, even shorter. Even like a 15-minute run, I started like getting the pain at the end. So
Hmm.
um, we really stopped running for a long period of time, like 3 weeks ish. And I just got on the bike and biked a
Hmm.
lot, like just to keep my cardio up and my aerobic endurance up.
Hmm.
I went to PT. Luckily, my brother-in-law is a physical therapist, so I was
I
texting
love
him and
that.
calling him all the time, like, when can I come over? I need physical therapy, like
I
as
need
much
help.
as possible, all the
Yeah.
dry needling, all that. So it's been a long 6, 7 weeks of trying to rehab my right knee quad,
Hmm.
and we're just starting to get more comfortable with the run walk. And so at this point, my my biggest worry is that I'm not going to make it to the finish line,
Yeah.
um, to be honest. And I wouldn't care so much if it were a race that didn't have time cutoffs, but the
Hmm.
Marine Corps Marathon has the gauntlets, and you have to pass the gauntlets by a certain time, or they close the race down. Um, so so yeah, that's my biggest worry. I'm really trying to get the negative energy out of my mind and allow the excitement to come through. But to
Hmm.
be honest, I've been kind of like suppressing the excitement because I I'm worried to like get excited for something that might not even come to be. So yeah.
No, I think that's a really realistic, like that's a really realistic description, I feel like, for what you're going through. And obviously it differs person by person, but I think like more recently I actually don't know if you saw, but like I fell on the West Side Highway in New York, and I completely
Oh,
like
I didn't see.
I fell on like an unmarked pothole, and I like,
Mm,
but I fell, like I fell, like, you like trip and whatever, but I twisted my ankle so bad, and when I got up, I swore up and down, I'm like, it's broken. I'm like, there is no way that my ankle is not broken right now, and this was like 5 weeks ago at this point. No, maybe like a month ago. And I had wine glass last weekend and I was kind of freaking out. Um, and it was one of the first times where I had that exact feeling that you just described. I was like, well, I actually didn't know if there were time cutoffs, but I was like, this actually might be a race where I don't make it to the finish line. And I had to have like a
hmm
real honest conversation with my coaches about that pain that you're describing, where it's like, okay, it gets to a point where it's not worth it. I'm not going to push through it, because if I push through it, I'm going to make it worse.
hmm
And we had to have this like real honest conversation about like DNFing. And I was like, man,
Yeah.
that would really stink. But when you kind of like, I don't know, for me, like I get in my head and I very much suppress excitement when I'm like freaking out about things, literally exactly how you described. And for me, sometimes I'm like not thinking about the gauntlet, or not thinking about the cutoff, or not thinking about whatever, not thinking about anything that has to do with time. And I'm just like, I won't know how this is going to go until I start running the first 5K. And then
hmm
from there in my head, I'm always just like, okay, this is exactly what happened to me at Wine Glass like a week and a half ago. I was like, okay, first 3 miles, wasn't in pain. Mile 4, 5, 6, my ankle was kind of stiff, but I hadn't run. I literally hadn't run over 20 miles in like probably since my ultra, truly, in like August.
hmm
Um, and yeah, I was kind of freaking out because I was like, it might be the first one where I don't make it to the finish line. But I think when you show up and kind of get like those first warm up miles in, you'll have a better understanding. But it also might provide some comfort in the sense of like, you know what, I might be okay here. Walk, run,
Yeah.
do this, do
I think
that.
it's just also like the unpredictable is scary,
Yeah.
and
Totally. Totally.
you don't know what your body's gonna do. Like
Yeah.
your mind wants it so much.
Oh, yeah.
And if only that could translate to like your muscles and your legs
I
working,
know. I know.
Like
I know.
um mhm,
It's tough. It's really a tough, and I think a lot of people go through similar things and they're kind of afraid to voice it because it's kind of scary to say out loud. So I mean, I very
mhm,
much appreciate you sharing, because it is kind of scary to say it out loud, and it is scary to face it, but at the same time, it kind of like empowers you a little bit. You're just like, okay, I
yeah.
think I can do it, and we're going to see how it goes. And the bottom line is like, you won't know unless you try. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, it's kind of one of those things. At least that's what I tell myself, as silly as it
Yeah.
sounds.
No,
Um,
I would be
you know,
really upset at myself if I decided not to
not to
go
run.
to the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there were a bunch of times where I was like, should I even be doing this? Like I must have said
Mhm.
that to myself like in the entire week leading up to Wine Glass. Like I am, because when this first happened to me, I was like, my coaches were like, all right, well, this effectively like takes you out of it, because it was going to be my race. And I was like, oh, well, I don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to not do anything, if like, and PT, and to your point, like do anything I can. Um, and, uh, and yeah, and then for the week leading up, I was like, should I show up to this? Like, should I do it? Should I? And then I just told myself, I'm like, well, the worst case is the worst case. Like, it just is going to
Yeah.
be what it's going to be, but you won't know unless you try. So I appreciate you sharing that. And I'm excited for you, because I think you're going to
Yeah.
surprise yourself, because from what you've
One
told
of
me,
the
put the work into healing,
Yeah, I think like my biggest mantra that I'm going to take with me that day is run the mile you're in,
Hmm.
because I really just want to focus on the present and not
Hmm.
let my mind take me to being nervous about what could
Yep.
happen in an hour from now. Like,
Yep.
I just want to focus on where I am and in
Yeah.
that time. So,
Yeah. No, and I think that's such an important thing to remember all the time. And like drawing inspiration from people, or mantras or anything. that you can find inspiration in is going to be what carries you on race day, you know?
Hmm.
I love it. I love it. Are there like any well, you're a big Pelotoner, right?
Yeah.
Do you have favorite coach or instructor and like something they've said that kind of carries you in that way?
Um, I can't think of any specific quotes off the top of my head, but I guess Matt Wilpers is my favorite
Yeah.
instructor. I just feel like he always delivers like such a an educated like message that will take you through the workout, but also explains why you're doing what you're doing. And I appreciate
Mhm.
that. I'm like such a
Mhm.
type A person, and I really enjoy knowing like the why behind everything.
Mhm.
So I appreciate his, methodology in his classes, and Power Zone training has like been a big part of my Peloton world and just training for triathlon and now cross training for the marathon. So I often take his classes, but I also really like Mariana's classes because she has awesome playlists and I like her music.
Yeah, she's the best.
So yeah,
I mean, they're both the best. Wilpers and obviously Mariana's a good friend of mine. She's the best. She has I always text her after class and I'm like, your playlist was fire tonight.
yeah,
And it'll be like midnight and
any
I'm taking the run.
anytime I take her class, I know it's going to be like a playlist that I just want to run faster and faster to because it's just good music.
No, so good. So good. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
I think I follow you on Peloton. I'm gonna have to, if not, and we'll have to take a class together. That'd be so fun.
yeah, for sure. Hmm.
Well, I'm really excited for you and Marine Corps and virtual NYC. I'm gonna be cheering so loud for you. I hope I get to meet you in person.
Yeah, we'll
I'll
definitely have
definitely
to
see
meet up.
you. Yeah, 100%. I will definitely see you at mile 19 of the New York City Marathon. Not running, but I'll be cheering my face off for literally everybody under the sun. I feel like everybody's running, and we talked about it before. I'm gonna have such bad FOMO.
Oh, it's hard.
I know, I know. But yeah, I know you touched on it a little bit, but to close us out here, what's one thing that you hope to take away from volunteering and take away from Marine Corps?
I just want to be able, like, from the volunteering perspective, I just want to be able to inspire, the runners in any way I can. If that's as simple as, giving them some hydration or fuel if they need that little extra boost to keep them going the last several miles, and or if it's cheering and sharing a mantra with them or whatever it may be, just to help them get across the finish line. I love giving back to the community. I like volunteering. Honestly, I feel like it's my gift to be the one, like I'm the one benefiting from it, really. Like, they are,
I love
sure,
that.
they're getting their fuel and their nutrition, but the feeling that you get from volunteering, it's just indescribable. And I it really truly is my gift. Um, so Marine Corps, I mean, I'm just really hoping to accomplish my goal of crossing the finish line. I'm not having any huge time goals or anything like that, as because of the injury journey that I've been on, but I just want to show myself that, I can overcome challenges and get past things, that the obstacles in your way, and you can do hard things. So,
Yeah. I love that. I love that. I'm so excited for you. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have to come back on here. We'll do a debrief, talk about your volunteer day. We'll talk about your first marathon ever, which I just realized on this podcast, which is so cool. So, so cool. I can't even, I mean, you could tell. I'm so excited for you. And I'll get to meet you in person, hopefully. It's going to be a great few weeks.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm getting more and more excited as the days get closer.
I listen. That's the name of the game. It's a tricky mind game what we do here, you know?
Hmm.
Um but thank you, Kelly, so much for being here. Thank you for your time. I know you're insanely busy and I so appreciate you being here. This was so much fun.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. These last few episodes for this series have been so much fun to record. The behind the scenes look at everything that goes into running a marathon, putting on a marathon, volunteering for a marathon. It is just one of the most inspiring things to me. So I hope you all enjoyed this conversation with Kelly. She's an absolute rock star, and I cannot wait to cheer her on next weekend at the Marine Corps Marathon. And I hope you all check out my partner, Backline Running, Brooklyn-based performance apparel brand made for us athletes. And I'm proud to partner with a brand that supports the running community in such a meaningful way. So big thanks to Backline for fueling this journey to the 5 boroughs. And as always, if you enjoy this podcast, feel free to follow along on Instagram at @the_Allie G Show for updates and new track releases. And follow along with Kelly on Instagram too at KelWorksItOut. Thanks again for listening, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.